are listening to Digital Denizens.
Snake here. Hello?
Hello?
This is Snake. I'm on a
Snake?
serious mission right now. Yes. Are we recording right now? This is the Digital Denizens podcast. We're live to discuss all things in the ever-expansive gaming realm. Today is March 26th, episode 28, and I am your host, Keith Whalen, the Gamer Stache.
Nailed it.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Alongside me, I am joined by AJ, aka A4GZ, all for gamers. How you doing, man?
Good. How are you doing, my man? Thank you for having me on board.
Of course, man. Always a pleasure. And in the third rotating chair, we have Mr. Chad Paquin.
It's actually pronounced
The
Paquin.
crowd's going wild. What's that? Paquin? Oh, I'm sorry.
Paquin.
Oh, all right. He will never be on your show again.
The door's to your left, Chad. Get out.
The name's Paquin.
You will never work in this town again.
Never!
The wrong last name.
Oh, crap. I thought he was Paquin. Son of a bitch. Get the hell out of here.
Man, forever. I thought it was Paquin. My bad.
You introducing him as... We got AJ here, the A4GZs.
Got the A4GZs. Blah, 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 blah.
Just need to hear
Exactly.
We're all saying.
So Chad, AJ, who's been on the podcast before, he's got his own channel. He does Let's Plays as well as doing a lot of streaming and stuff like that. And we can once we get into the games that we're playing, I'm sure we'll definitely talk about all that kind of stuff. And Mr. Chadley Paquin, or I like to call him Mick Paquin. I don't know where that came from. I just decided.
Is that
What's
a fat joke?
It's not a fat joke, I promise. It was just, I don't know, it just sounded good to throw the Mick.
Calling him Mick Paquin on the guy with the Irish shirt. What's wrong with you?
My bad. And all right, let's restart. Anyway, Chad is from the Just Your Average channel as well as Fanboy and the Snob. Anyway, we got an interesting episode ahead of us full of loops, pixels, and nonsense. But before we do, remember, if you guys want to write into the podcast to have us read your funny anecdotes, interesting or emotionally charged video game stories, offer up ridiculous life questions like, what is self-camouflage? Well, if you complete the game with Otacon's ending in Metal Gear Solid, submitting to the torture, you'll receive this item. It'll make you invisible from all enemies except from bosses. Or if you want to sneak into the girl's locker room and have a sneak peek, it's good for that. Anyway, but if you want to share with us, what you're currently playing, we'd be thrilled to share your thoughts with the rest of the listeners. We're also trying out a new reformatted the interviews into their own episodes, which is called the Content Creation Corner. So if you're looking for the interviews, those are going to be on YouTube and also on all the audio platforms, not on the podcast anymore. So basically, and the interviews, the Content Creation Corner is basically used to bring in streamers, YouTubers, podcasters, anybody in the gaming related sphere, whatever you want to call it. And basically kind of, get the insight on what they do, why they do what they do, and what keeps them going. So if you guys want to, our company is called New Game Plus Network. Me, Chad, AJ, we got Matt, and also Leslie that are part of the group. You can find us on Instagram at New Game Plus Network. You can also find each individual one of us. You can write into the podcast at Instagram at digital_denizens, Facebook Digital Denizens, and we'll get the links and plugs and everything for Chad and also AJ as well. I'll also put them in the links down below if you're watching the video version, so that way you guys can find them. Now, we also have a new series that seems to be gaining some traction. We're doing it once a month. It's called Next Gen. This is where we bring in a teen gamer and talk about the games that they're currently playing and what they think about them. So we're doing that once a month, and again, it seems to be gaining some really awesome traction, and I think we're gonna keep doing it, man.
The kids just love it.
Yeah. This is yogurt, the doll. The kids love it.
I just always think about that freaking Ghostbusters part. What was it? The second part or whatever. It's like, oh no, we can't do any more parties and whatever else. It's like, what? But the kids love it.
Yeah, right, exactly. Spaceballs to flamethrower. The kids just love it. Yeah, so we're gonna do that, probably another one. I think in like another 2 weeks. I think we're ready to do one. So speaking of which, again, if you guys want to write in, Digital Denizens at Facebook, Instagram at digital_denizens, and of course, if you have any feedback, that's also appreciated to help us improve the show. If you're watching the video version, we'll put the links down below. So shall we dive right into it? Video games.
Yes.
Video games. Woohoo! What are you buying? What are you playing? All right,
The voice is so awesome.
Thank you, man. One of these days I'll make it in voice acting. Not today, not tomorrow, not yesterday, maybe the day after.
New Game Plus Network cartoon show.
Dude.
We'll do the voices, bro.
There
That'd be phenomenal. All right, so let's start with you, Chad. What are you currently playing?
I really I'm trying not to repeat games I repeated last time I was on the show because I'm pretty much still playing those. So let me tell you games.
What if nobody watched that episode?
Well, I was playing some Mortal Kombat 11.
All right.
Some Tricky Towers, some Deadliest Warrior, and some Street Fighter 3.
Nice.
That's the best one.
Wow.
But I want to get back into. Was it Matt talk about Rocket League the other day?
Yeah, we played last night.
Rocket League. Are you playing on Switch or PS4?
I play on my Xbox.
Oh, it's crossplay though, right?
Yeah, so you can play actually PC, Xbox, Switch, and PlayStation. I believe they can all actually help together.
Cool. I want to get back into that because that game was really fun.
Dude, it's a lot of fun. We should all just get a freaking big group orgy. Big group Rocket League thing going on.
Yes, all of that. Yes.
Rocket League Psycho Jake.
Oh yeah. I want to just watch a bunch of monkeys fucking coconuts around here. All right,
exactly.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
I also downloaded Chrono Trigger on my phone. So I'm gonna
nice.
I never played it.
So I've actually never played it too. I apologize. It's probably blasphemous, but
yeah.
Neither have I.
So we're all a bunch of losers.
We're all sinners.
I think
I need to play Final Fantasy VI because Leslie's like, you need to play it.
Yeah, I remember playing it years ago. Like I can't even remember what I played it on, but it is pretty cool. I also want to play Octopath Traveler, which it's actually on sale on Steam right now. I think for $30.
I bet you do it.
And I think it actually is coming to Game Pass. It might have actually. Was that today?
Yeah, I downloaded it last night.
Yes.
Woo-hoo!
Awesome. So yeah, if you have Game Pass, actually, you don't even need to buy it on Steam. So it's a shame that it hasn't got on sale on the Switch because I would really love to just play it on the Switch. Like it's a perfect game for that.
If they know that they can completely keep just like taking your money for the full price, they're gonna keep on doing it. Dude, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild has been out for 4 years. That game is still fucking $60.
Has it really been 4 years?
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit, man!
I know, right?
My mind's blown. Was there anything that you wanted to add about the games that you're playing, Chad?
I'm actually a lot better at Mortal Kombat now. Me and Chris played the other day and I didn't die too much from him.
Yeah. What do you so you said you're playing Mortal Kombat 11, right?
Yeah.
I'm not into like fighting games a lot. Like what do you like about Mortal Kombat 11 that's like that changes the game with like other Mortal Kombat games?
Well, it's probably the most like accessible out of all of them, you could say.
Okay.
And it's not even that, it's just like it's the newest one, so that's what we're playing. I really liked Mortal Kombat 9 a lot.
Yeah.
But 11's just crazy, like all the stuff they have. For fighting games, it's probably one of the easier ones to pick up.
Okay.
Like Street Fighter and stuff, it's kind of hard to put the special moves together. But Mortal Kombat, a lot of it's like down, back, square, back, forward, square. So you can figure out their special moves like really easy.
Okay, yeah, I do remember like the old school like Mortal Kombat games being like, how the fuck do you do the special? How do you shoot? What was it? Sub-Zero like trying to shoot just like the ice. You know, like that was like incredibly hard. You had to be like, all right, bro, you ready for this?
There,
You ready
bro.
for this? Back, forward, front, back, up, down, left, right, forward, back, square, circle, back, forward, up, down, forward, up. You got that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What can you
man.
say again?
Yeah,
Yeah.
what you said.
And I'm just super competitive too. So like
Yeah.
I
me,
can imagine.
me and
Yeah.
Chris can just go back and forth in fighting games all day.
Yeah.
It's just Mortal Kombat's the one we stuck to the most. We branched off the Street Fighter 3 a lot. We were trying to do the PlayStation Network actually has a lot of cool like random Japanese fighting games that you should check out.
Yeah.
They're all super fun. But yeah, I just fucking love the characters in Mortal Kombat, like the way the game plays and everything.
I mean, it looks gorgeous and gory as fuck, but it's super cool. Yeah, I can totally appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right, so AJ, what are you working on, man? What do you got for me?
So I got a couple of different games, right?
Stuff, right.
So I'm doing a little Stardew Valley, right? You know what I'm saying? I decided to just kind of be like a character. I stream it. You know, I got some funny things going on in that place. You know, there's a lot of people just like kind of come down there. It's like, what's going on? I'm like, yo, there's things going on. You should watch me stream. I do
This
stuff, and they're
guy.
like, whoa.
This guy, man, I can't get enough of him.
That was all one, bro. But yeah,
That
so
was phenomenal.
so Stardew Valley, which I do need to kind of get a little bit more into to actually kind of progress the story around a little bit more. I kind of feel bad that everyone's just like hanging on. But speaking of which, the last VOD, Haley needs to watch that because stuff goes down.
In the last stream you did of
The last stream. Mm-hmm.
Oh my
So,
goodness.
she's gonna be pleasantly surprised. I would say if she wants to skip ahead, if she wants to, I mean, how do you skip this? But
No,
I would say
yeah,
skip
I
to an
wouldn't.
hour and a half.
A lot of time to skip on your face, man.
I mean, listen, you got like an additional hour left, you know, just like, like bask in the beauty of this. So
Fair enough. Fair enough.
what else? So I decided that it was a good idea to also download the new campaign of Doom, the extension of Doom, and I haven't played that.
What's that called? Is it Gods and Demons or something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah.
I forget what the hell it was. Honestly, I downloaded it. It was $20.
Mhm.
You can download the other. There's two parts, so you can download them both for $20 for what I know. Dude, I got freaking raffle stomped so bad that it's disgusting. Like, I'm not the best Doom player like at all, to be honest with you. Like, I'll die a good amount, but I can progress along the storyline. I haven't played the game in a year, so when I went in there, I was like, "All right, you have everything unlocked. Like, you know, you're the Demon Slayer because that's
I did hear about that. Yeah.
Yeah, so you have all your tools, and then you go in there and you die a lot. I'm like, what the fuck? And then I moved on to the next stage. I died
Even
more.
You're
terrible.
making me want to play it, man.
Yeah, no, it
sounds
It's
amazing.
a lot of
Yeah.
fun.
No, I'm very mad at myself. I haven't played the new Dooms.
So have you played 2016 at all?
Oh man, that one
I have it on my PlayStation. That's another one I'm gonna be playing soon.
The Doom 2016 is definitely my favorite. I do appreciate Doom Eternal, but there's like a lot of if you've not played it, it's very different than your traditional Doom. Like I mean, it's a Doom game, but there's like this whole song and dance kind of thing you have to do, and like you're juggling like cooldowns of like your different of like your health, your armor, and like your ammo for your weapons and things like that. Which that was one thing I wanted to mention, AJ. Isn't that something I think they changed within the new expansion where they have like the cooldowns on your screen now? I think for your health, armor, and your weapons.
So more so, not a cooldown for your health. So you actually still have to go around picking up health packs, and
Yeah.
you have to pick up armor packs and everything else like that. So there's not much of a cooldown. They do have like special cooldowns, like you can throw grenades, right? And so instead of actually having to consistently like collect more grenades, that has a cooldown. So you throw a grenade,
Oh, okay.
poof, and then it cools down. You get like a 10-second cooldown, then you can throw it again. They have a cryo one, same thing. So you can freaking free somebody 10 seconds, you're not allowed to use it again, and then you're good to go. But it's basically the same thing. I would agree with you. I personally like 2016 better than the new one that came out, but I'm also just a big Doom whore, so I have Doom 1 through 3 on my Xbox, Doom 1 through 3 on my Switch. I have Doom 2016 on my PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch. I bought Doom Eternal on my Xbox, and obviously I kind of like Doom. It's okay.
It's kind of like
And you
no,
said
it is cool. It's
It
one
is
of
on
those
the Switch.
games.
Yeah.
Oh yes, it is on Switch.
I might wait till I get a Switch to play Doom then.
I mean, if you're comfortable playing like a first-person shooter with joysticks, I think you'd probably be okay with it. But
you know
I
what
find it really difficult.
I would agree. I would say that I like it better dock mode because it's just it obviously same thing like with the PlayStation and the Xbox. It just has a better feel to it when you're playing with the Pro controller. But I would actually say because they also have Doom 64 on the Xbox and I think they have PlayStation also, but they have it on the Switch.
Yeah.
And I think I bought it for like $15. So dude, Doom 64, forget Doom 3. Doom 3's poopy. Get Doom 64 on the Switch. I'll be honest with you, I only played about an hour of Doom 3. I wasn't a fan.
What?
By comparison.
Oh man.
It's okay. I probably should give it another chance and play a little bit more of the campaign more than just an hour, but
How long ago did you play it?
When I downloaded it about a year or two ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still love that one just because of like the tone. And it's just like it's got that like dark, creepy dungeon-esque kind of tone to it. And I love the fact that it's like a horror game where you can switch. You can't like have the flashlight on at all times. Like you have to switch between the flashlight and your gun and stuff like that. I think that was just like that was a really cool design.
See, and I absolutely respect that. But to me, and for what a Doom game should be, right, or what because that's literally the only game that's like that. If you go to any other Doom game, it's literally RNG. You're there to just kill shit. What's your mission? Right. Who cares? I just want to kill shit. That's it. You're not stalking through anything. You're not going through corridors. You're not putting on a flashlight. No, you are the Doom Marine, and you are here to fuck shit up. That's what you do. That is what you're supposed to do. Yeah. Not.
I would definitely agree though. Like I definitely agree with you for sure. Yeah. And I would say that it's not like that throughout the entire game.
Right, which is why I'm saying
it definitely picks up where it gets to be more like the Doom-esque kind of like play through, sort of gameplay that you know and love about Doom, like where you're running and gunning and like it gets pretty frantic at times and so it does pick up for sure. I think it's like one of the like watching Breaking Bad. You have to watch more than a couple episodes to get into it.
So is Doom 3 like the Metal Gear Solid 3, just totally different than the other games?
It is, yeah. It starts out very different. It's made to be more of like a suspenseful horror sort of thing. Like there's one iconic moment that I remember from Doom 3 where you're down like this, like you're walking down a corridor, the lights start flickering, and you hear a chainsaw at the very end of the hallway, and then it starts flickering on, and you see the guy. There's like this huge fucking hulking asshole at the end, this demon with a chainsaw, and every time the lights flicker, he's getting closer and closer to you until he's like right in front of you, and he's just like, wah! And you're just like, oh fuck, like that shit's fucking awesome. Like the way they pulled that kind of shit off, I think was really fucking cool.
That's interesting.
So it's a more cinematic Doom than what people are probably used to?
Yeah, I think it was actually the first. It was probably like the first real 3D Doom I think they came out with. Within like newer games, I would say. But then I think it was also the first one that actually tried to implement like a full-on story within what was happening in the Doom game. Whereas like all the other Doom games, you're in hell on Mars and you have
Well, I
demons
mean,
to kill.
to be fair, like if you actually, so if you go back to the original Doom, so there are obviously there aren't cutscenes or whatever, but it does give you a dialogue at the end, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, you're literally just a guy in hell blasting everyone to hell, but at the end you get like this whole entire thing of Doom Marine does X, Y, and Z, blah 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 blah, and gives you the whole entire dialogue in between. Like I think it was the episodes, right? So like once you play like because I beat like the first like few chapters, so you get like done with 10 chapters, and then you reach a pinnacle like to get to another stage in hell. Then it gives you a whole entire breakdown of what happened. So it's all
Yeah.
text. So I would agree with you on that it's the first cinematic one that gives you more of an expanded kind of dialogue driven storyline. But I would say if you're looking for something, and you would agree with me on this one, if you're looking for something with the best of both worlds that has a captivating story, or at least what I consider a captivating story for something that's supposed to be just action oriented, and the RNG factor, I think Doom 2016 absolutely caught lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
they
yeah.
have the best of both worlds in that you can collect the little Doom Marines, so you got your little collectathon going on there. It doesn't look too cartoony. You're literally just like you're a guy in hell blowing shit up. Doom Eternal it like literally off the bat you see like something that says 1-up and you're like, all right, the immersion's already broken, like I already know I'm in a video game. So
Yeah.
that kind of aggravated me, which I you might agree with.
I definitely remember that. Yeah.
But as soon as you got to see, at least for me, at least as soon as I got to see like how many extra things I could do, I was like, okay, that's awesome. But I wish the immersion wasn't broken so soon. I wish there wasn't like a 1-up thing. I wish there would just be like collect this amount of blood and then you get a 1-up or whatever. Not literally see something that says 1-up right there and you're like, oh, okay, I can just go get it.
Yeah. They made Doom Eternal very like sort of video gamey.
Yeah.
It's a very video game video game.
They try to make it arcadey, you could say.
Yes, actually, that's
Yeah.
actually perfect description for it.
Yeah, it's very arcadey, and it's like I think that like the platforming is pretty cool in it, like, and being sort of more open worldy is kind of cool.
I like the
But
open world. I like the climbing. I don't like the platforming though. Doom shouldn't be platforming. You're supposed to
Yeah.
just go shoot it up.
I agree.
Is it
Yeah,
all first person?
What's that?
Is it all first person?
Yes.
Yeah. It's again, I can't agree with AJ more. I think the 2016 one definitely had like a better rhythm to the game, and just like you're not like shoehorned into like using this weapon or that weapon. Like I did think it was kind of cool how they're like, oh, like certain weapons are more effective towards certain enemies. Like that's cool. But it kind of like using other weapons that aren't effective, that like they don't recommend towards other enemies, like don't really do a lot of damage to them.
Yeah, it's a pain.
Yeah, and it's like, and they don't give you much ammo for each of the weapons at all. So it's like, and I love like blasting the shotgun in the Doom games. Like that is one of the most satisfying weapons to use in any fucking Doom game. And to be like, yeah, and you have like 12 rounds and then you're out and you're like, so now I gotta use like this other gun that I don't really care about. It's just kind of like frustrating.
He's a pain in the boot.
Yeah. So yeah.
But so I mean, so I bought that. I realized that the game is mega hard. I wouldn't say it's a waste of $20 because I still love Doom. So yay me! I still bought Doom stuff. Hooray!
You probably get better at it too.
That's about it. I kind of like it's like you just go in there. I'm dead. All right, then you go in there. You last 5 minutes, and you last 10 minutes, and you last. And I'm like I'm all the way up to the end. I'm like I'm still on the second stage. What the fuck am I doing? But anyway, so I got into. What I used to do, my favorite thing was back in the day to beat Halo 1, 2, and 3, right? This is before the Master Chief Edition came out. So that was always my annual tradition that I wanted to do, right? So it started in the springtime, I ended in summertime, blast through 1, 2, and 3, yay me, did my annual thing. Then they came out with the Master Chief Edition, whatever else. I never played the Halo 2 Special Edition, the revamped one.
Oh, yeah.
I've been playing that for like the past week, dude. I was just playing it before. It is so awesome. If you guys have, Chad, I don't know if you have an Xbox, but if you have the Master Chief edition, absolutely play it.
I
I
think
played
they're all in there. They're all in there on Game Pass, aren't they?
Game Pass, yeah, and that's such
Yeah.
a pain in the ass too because I have the physical copy, so it's telling me it's downloading or it couldn't play because of
Oh, weird.
I didn't have Game Pass for a little bit, like I deleted it, and then it wouldn't let me play my game. I put the disc in and it wouldn't let me play my game, so I needed to
What the hell?
delete the whole entire thing that was affiliated with Game Pass
And
to
re-download it.
re-download the whole entire fucking thing because I
Oh,
had it in the
God.
disc.
That's
Yeah.
so dumb.
It's
Yeah,
been
that was stupid.
Yeah, it's been a little bit trying, since they added them to Game Pass. Like there was some like bugs and glitches they had to fix to get them working all properly. Like, but now that I think they're at like a good place now, I think where they're all working and everything. But I did jump in and play like the original Halo on Game Pass with the Master Chief Collection when they first launched it on there. And then like they were still waiting to launch the other ones, and then I played Halo 2 when that one came out. Not in its entirety, but I was like, I want to jump in and see what this looks like compared to what it, and like I think you and AJ, or me and you, AJ, hi AJ. We were talking off camera about like being able to switch between the graphics like on the fly. Like even in mid cutscene, you can flip it back and forth and see what it used to look like and what it now looks like. And I was
I don't
like,
even know the cutscenes. Like, can you do it through the cutscenes?
yeah,
I haven't tried.
yeah. Like because there's in the very beginning of Halo 2, like there's like the drop ships flying in and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And Master Chief is on them, and you guys are like dropping onto Earth where like they're being like invaded by the Covenant and everything.
Mhm.
And I was switching it back and forth and seeing like what the drop ships looked like, and you're like, wow, that looks so. I mean, for its time, it was amazing. Like it was groundbreaking. But now you're like, wow, this looks so much better than what it used to look like.
Think about it this way, dude. Right? So
Even the
Halo came
music,
out-
you can tell the music is actually
Yeah.
different too, the way they remastered it.
Without it, yeah, you can absolutely hear the symphonics behind it. You can hear like the big, there's a lot of bass added to it. There's a lot of like electric
Yup.
guitars. Which there was one part I was flying a Banshee, Banshee, and I was switching behind it, so you hear like me on the original one, and then you switch
Yep.
back to the updated one, you just say I
Yeah.
almost lost my shit, and it's like 12 o'clock in the morning.
I love that they added that whole feature, like being able to like kind of look through like the rose tinted glasses at what it used to be,
Yeah.
and seeing what it looks like now, and you're like, wow, this is so cool that they're able to like kind of keep it up to date,
Right?
and keep
Think
it
about
current.
this way, right? Halo 1 came out in 2001. That was 20
Mhm.
years ago, dude.
I didn't even like imagine that was 20 years ago.
Right?
You feel old because I'm like, oh, what were we in high school or something when that came out?
I think I just started high school, actually. Yeah, that was my freshman year of high school, 2001.
Yeah, that's fucking wild.
See, I've always been a PlayStation fanboy,
Oh yeah.
so I never got an Xbox, so I missed out on some stuff. That's probably why I'm not good at first-person shooters too, because I never played them. Because I've never had an Xbox.
I mean, not for nothing though. Like, so I love the PlayStation. So I had the PlayStation, I had the Xbox. Then the PlayStation 2 came out, right? And then everybody that I know loved the PlayStation 2. That is the god tier of game systems. I don't think anybody will ever argue with that. And if they do, they're wrong. So PlayStation 2 is the best system that ever came out. Because you can do so much, right? And I played PlayStation 2 for so long. PlayStation 3 came out, and then the 360 came out. But then the PlayStation 3 debacle happened where they freaking overpriced that because of the fucking Blu-ray shit at the time. So I was like, I don't have money to do that, so I traded in my original Xbox and the games or whatever, and I got my 360. So that's kind of where I became a little bit more of an Xbox fanboy because of PlayStation 3's mess up at the time.
Mhm.
And then PlayStation 4 came out, and then I decided to kind of give them another chance. I bought a PlayStation 4. I got my Xbox One. I got my Switch. I became bankrupt, and I needed to sell my dogs for crack. It was terrible.
Wow. What? Wait, what was that last part?
It was a whirlwind. Leave me alone.
Oh
And
my
I'm still
God.
holding it to you. If I don't have a Switch by the time the stupid Nintendo Switch comes out and you get the new one, you said you'd mail me your Switch.
I I am a man of my word. If I
He
buy the
is.
new Switch Pro, I will download all my games onto my new system, and I will absolutely 110% give you my old system. That is a promise from me to you.
He's
I
a
will
gentleman
probably
and a
have
scholar.
to by then, though, because if I don't, I'll be very sad.
We don't want sad Chad. No sad Chad.
Yeah, no sad Chad. That's not allowed.
I just want a goddamn Switch.
I know, man. I don't blame you.
Dude, I felt so bad. He was like, guys, you know what I'm going to do with my stimulus bill? I'm going to get a Switch. And the next day he's like, guys, my girl said I can't do
Yeah,
it. I need to
I
pay
can't
bills.
get one, man.
It's like,
Dude, I feel you, man.
especially now, our car broke down. We had to spend like $600 to get it fixed.
Sorry, dude.
I just
Yeah.
want a Switch.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man.
Fuck your
Yeah.
car. Your car, you can get that, like, just work a couple of weeks. But I need my car.
Just drive mine.
Who needs a car, man? That's just
Public
that's
transportation.
outrageous. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Take the bus to your third shift job.
Yeah, man. AJ, is there anything else, any other games you're playing you wanted to talk about?
I mean, I'll be honest with you. Those are the I'm playing Blue Fire on my my Let's Play for YouTube, and I really am loving that game.
It looks really cool. I've been
really-
watching some of your Let's Plays, and I think it's really awesome.
Thank you. I
You're
appreciate it.
welcome. Yeah.
One video came out really terribly because my
You said it
recording
was real
just absolutely shot.
fuzzy, right?
Dude, it was so terrible. Like, and I don't know if it's because I switched from Streamlabs recording,
Mhm.
and then I went from Streamlabs to OBS Studio to record for that one. I don't know. I think it was because of that, and I didn't putz around with the settings enough, I guess.
Oh,
But
okay.
it just came out botched, man. I'm like, I'm not gonna go ahead and
Oh, weird.
re-record like an hour and a half of this to edit it. I'm just like, I'm gonna put it out there, make my apologies, which I did,
You
and
did,
I've only
yeah.
had one view on it, which I really don't care. That's okay. And then I'm gonna make up for it on the next one. We're gonna be good.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome, man. Other than that, I think they all turned out pretty good, and
appreciate
it
it.
looks like a really cool game. Yeah.
Oh, it's so awesome. I love the intro and the ending because
Dude.
the ending has the heavy metal. Yes.
Yes, dude. I really like your intro for your videos. I think
Thank
that's
you.
super well done, man. Like, it's so professional.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
I do my
yeah.
best. I take pride in my brand.
Yeah, exactly. So as far as what I've been playing, the last couple weeks I was like streaming Half-Life Alyx. This week I didn't, and I kind of explained it on the content creation corner. Things are just kind of getting kind of busy, and with work, and then also trying to keep up on the editing for the podcast and the content creation corner. I apologize for not streaming. I will try to do some streaming, either Saturday or Sunday, and hopefully we can get a stream in, because I really do want to keep going and have people see like how that journey ends, and then hopefully move on to like another really cool VR game or something.
Dude, you're the VR streamer. You have to keep streaming.
I know, I got to. I wish I could do more than one day a week, honestly, but it's like it's so hard to get the time to do all that.
So many hours in the day, my dude.
Right, exactly. I barely even have time to play the games I want to play. But as far as the games I've been playing, I think it was this past week we did. Was that Rogue Heroes? No, that was last week, right?
Yes, it was last week.
Okay, yep. So never mind. I didn't play that this week. I did play a little bit of. Jump back into Gears Tactics on Game Pass. That is a really awesome, like, if you like the Gears games and you appreciate tactics games, that is totally like a really great combination of both of those.
So I'm confused on that. Not to interrupt. So Gears
No,
Tactics,
you're fine.
does that mean that is it like turn-based or something? Like what does that mean?
Yes, so it is turn-based, but you have like so many action points. So it's kind of like the old school like Fallout games in a sense.
Okay.
So
Like the real old school ones.
Yeah, so it's definitely more like mainstream. It's more streamlined than what like the original Fallout games used to be. But so you start out in a mission, you pick what people you want to come on the mission. So you think you can pick up to 4 people. Some missions are only like 2 team members that you can use. You have your main character that always comes with you. He's like the leader of the squad. And then as you're playing the game, you will actually recruit more people. And then the more you use them, the more they level up. And you can have like, they're all like different specialties. Like you can have a sniper, you can have a heavy gunner, you can have like I have like a support, like a scout, and she uses like a shotgun, a pistol, and she can like stealth camo and like hide into like the background. So then like if an enemy sneaks up, she can do a sneak attack on them. And so basically with the action points, like you start off in a mission, you drop into like the landing area or whatever, and it's kind of like pretty open. Like it's kind of linear, like in the areas that you can go where you do your missions and stuff, but um you start off and you take your first turn. Your squad goes first, and you say each character has like 3 or 4 points of like action points. So you can say, I want to take two of those 3 action points and move so far into like cover or whatever. And then you can use 1 point to use as like I forget what they call it, but it's like hunker down or like Overwatch in a sense. So then you can aim where you want your cone of Overwatch to be. So then if an enemy on their turn, when they come into the Overwatch, your character will automatically fire on them.
Okay.
So then like once it gets to the enemy's turn, sometimes there won't be any enemies yet, but when you get further into the map as you're moving along, they'll drop in, and then they'll take their turn, and they'll kind of come closer to you, and then you can kind of position your characters in your turn to where you want them to be and take cover. And like you can still use like, obviously you can still use the chainsaw and the lancer. So like you can actually run up on an enemy, come up behind. Like some enemies you have to come from behind though. Like what were those, like the wretches? Were those little like monkey looking locusts in the Gears games?
Oh, in the Gears games. Yeah. That's
Yeah, the little monkey guys. Like those guys, you can't use the Lancer chainsaw on up front. You have to come up behind them, or else if you come up in the front, they'll like attack you.
Gotcha.
So they have like all the different types of locusts that you fight and everything. Still, you can like the heavy locusts will drop those grenade launchers. You can pick them up and use them too. And it's cool because you're all like you're working as a squad. Like so if one of your teammates gets injured, you have to run over to them and like heal them and get them off the ground, or you can throw like a stim grenade and then it'll like revive them or whatever.
Because
So
that sounds really interesting, because you
Yeah.
go from a third person over the shoulder,
Mhm.
just RNG kind of deal, this little cover shooter,
Yep.
to a tactics turn based kind of thing. Like you would think that it would lose that kind of something, but it kind of feels like it takes something away and then kind of adds another thing
It
to it,
does.
which I think actually sounds pretty interesting. I'm
Yeah.
not too into, you already know, I'm not too into turn based things.
hmm
But I do love Gears of War. I haven't played the 5th one yet, but
The
I do.
fifth one's really good.
Is
Yeah.
it really? Okay, I gotta
Yeah,
check that
I
out.
really liked it a lot. I still haven't finished it, but from what I played, I think I got pretty close to ending it. But it was really awesome. But yeah, it has a lot of the same attitude that like the Gears games have. Like the characters have their own personalities and things like that. You can actually customize all of your teammates in like you actually can swap out armors. Like you'll get better gear as you go through the game, so you can change out their weapons, you can change out their armor to better armor.
Hmm.
You can even customize the patterns and the colors of their armor.
It's like a traditional RPG.
Yeah, it's really cool. I think like they really nailed it in terms of like what they were trying to do with like a strategy RTS sort of Gears game.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I highly recommend it. It's still on Game Pass. At least jump in and try it.
If it's on
Um,
Game Pass, absolutely it will.
Yeah, exactly. The other game that I've been playing that we kind of themed this episode around was Metal Gear Solid 5. I know the game's like probably 5 years old at this point right now, but I never actually finished the game. I'm a huge Metal Gear Solid fan, and I was just thinking about it. I was like, I really want to go and give that game another shot. And like I know a lot of people like they like it or they hate it. They love it or hate it. There's no like real in between. And I can see because like if you're a big Metal Gear Solid fan, like you'll probably like it, but like there is definitely a lot of stuff missing, and obviously people know because of like the rift that was caused between Konami um and Hideo
Kojima.
Kojima. Yeah. And because it was like because I think Kojima left, and then they kind of had to finish it up and patch it up and throw it out into the world, you know. So like there's, you know, a lot of people are like, I even pulled up like some articles that like in the news where like people are like, we want the Snyder cut of like sort of treatment for Metal Gear Solid 5. There's so much stuff that was cut that could be thrown back in there, which I think we know it's probably never going to happen because like Konami is already like not really doing a whole lot with Metal Gear Solid in general, or you know, any other like.
Well, you know what they're doing, right? So they downsized to like, you know, like for everything that they're doing now, which is a whole big bunch of nothing, they've
Yeah.
downsized to just one company. So they're you know, like they, instead of like, you know, here, there, and whatever else, like all the different places that they had, they just downsized to like one hub. They're not going to be working on anything. They could have been working on
Right.
Castlevania. They could have been working on
Right.
Silent Hills. They could have done something. They could have come out with another Silent Hills. How long have we been asking for Silent Hills, right?
Exactly.
Everyone was distraught that PT was a freaking just like, yep, all right, well, you know what, being that Hideo Kojima's done, you know, everyone can go fuck off now, and we're not going to do anything.
Right,
But
exactly.
Do you know
they
anything
haven't been
more
doing
about
anything.
the rumors of Sony buying like Silent Hill, Metal Gear, and Castlevania and stuff?
I'd be okay with that. I haven't heard the rumors about that, but I'd be all right with that. At least they would be used.
Yeah, I would really like to see yeah, we'll get into a little bit more in the news, I think.
Okay, good, because I just got heated, and I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. No, I won't go on much longer about Metal Gear 5. I just wanted to say, like, I think it's cool. I didn't really give it a big chance when it first came out. And I think mainly because it's like there's not a lot of stuff that they tell you in the game. You kind of have to just like figure things out. And some of like the menus and things are like really convoluted. And it's just like, wait, what does this do? What does that do? Like they give like a brief explanation, and then that's it. And they're just like, oh, what, like you don't understand? Like, no, I don't fucking understand. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this? You know?
So they don't
like,
hold your hand the whole entire time.
no, and it's like, well, and there's like a whole like base building sort of thing, like on the side. So like this is the first open world Metal Gear
Chad got
game.
upset.
Well, the newest Fallout. It's like I don't want to fucking do all this. I just want to play.
Yeah, Did you ever play like what was it, the Assassin's Creed 2 Brotherhood? I think it was.
I never did it. I know exactly what you're talking about. You're supposed to build up the. I never did that. I was like,
you had to like.
fuck
Yeah,
it.
you got to build up the Brotherhood, and like you have all these recruits and things, and you can send them on like these virtual missions or whatever, and then they'll bring back supplies, and they'll bring back new recruits, and like this I think takes it a little further. Like some like your virtual recruits will like come back injured, or sometimes they'll die, and then like you can like kind of reorganize how you want your guys to be like. There's different like headings. There's like you can put guys under R&D, you can put them under Intel, and so there's like different headings you can put them under, and like that also goes into like the development of like crafting weapons. So like blueprints for weapons, like you can craft like say your silenced pistol. I want to upgrade it to have like a laser sight and like a flashlight on the next one, and it'll do more damage. Or you can like craft a new like sneaking suit, which like hides you better from like night vision goggles or heat vision goggles from enemies and things like that. So it's like the more like the higher levels in like in these different tiers of R&D or Intel or support, the more of these like development projects that you can work on, and then you can have them like dropped into the field. Hey, quit trying to hump the cat. He doesn't like that. And yeah, so it's just like,
Can you leave that in?
I will, for sure. My dog wants to freaking hump the cat sometimes, and she makes this weird noise, as you can probably hear. It's just like
I didn't, but now that just is gonna give me nightmares.
What are you doing? Oh my god. Anyway,
yeah, avocado.
Yeah.
It's a cat safe word.
That's a safe word.
Avocado. Yeah. Avocado.
She won't stop. But yeah, I don't know. Like I actually going back into Metal Gear 5, I actually downloaded some mods for it. one of them I downloaded was because like in Metal Gear 5, Big Boss, who you play as, who has been in some of the previous Metal Gear games, like the very first 2 Metal Gear games, you play as Solid Snake, which is like a clone of Big Boss.
Right.
And so in this one, Big Boss, like in the very beginning, he has like some sort of accident, and he ends up having like this piece of shrapnel like lodged into his forehead, and it looks like a weird horn. And they can't remove it because it'll like cause like, you know, massive like brain bleed, and he'll probably die. And then he also lost like I think his left arm, like below the elbow. And so he's got like a cool like prosthetic arm. Like I think that's cool, but the weird horn thing is like weird. And it was like never mentioned in any of the lore of like any of the games, even when Big Boss is older.
They probably just like sanded it down and put some nice makeup over it. So
Yeah, exactly.
put some concealer over it.
This
you know?
man is a war hero. He has to look good.
Yeah, and so yes, I used a mod to remove the horn or whatever. Like the prosthetic arm is cool though, because you can get different prosthetic arms that do different things. Like the one I'm using is like a shock one, where you can like charge at an enemy and he does like a powerful like punch, and it'll like knock them like double over themselves, and they're just like fucking knocked out cold. You know, like that shit's super cool.
Well, we're also
And
talking about a game where you have a hot woman who's in a freaking bikini because if she wears more clothing, she can't breathe. I'm all about freaking, hot
Right.
women in bikinis, but I mean, that is the dumbest thing I've ever fucking heard. Come
Yeah.
Hideo Kojima put it out there. He wanted to make a good cosplay character.
on. That is the best cosplay
definitely
character.
makes the best
The
cosplay
reason
character,
why
yeah.
he made that character.
Right? Why are you stripping? I can't breathe. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I'm
Neither can I. I'm gonna join you.
That's okay.
yeah.
Is that really the reason?
I think so. I can't
Something
remember.
ridiculous like that.
Yeah, probably.
Man.
But yeah, I think yeah, I'm definitely enjoying it way more this time around. There's still like the lack of like story content. It's like every 5 missions there's like a story beat where I'm like, all right, there could be more, I think to kind of keep it more like a tight-knit sort of game, right? But I am enjoying like the gameplay itself is a lot of fun. It's definitely like the best combat in any Metal Gear game that I've seen before. Like it's definitely real tight. It feels good. That's what she said.
I got nothing.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a lot of fun, and there was some other like mods and things to make it a little bit easier in like upgrading your development and all of like your. Somebody calling?
All right.
You called.
It's the Discord.
Oh no, Chad, you need to shut that off now. They're going to be tracking us.
It's File Shrew.
It's File Shrew.
I know that guy.
Yeah, so I think some of the mods make it easier, so you're not spending so much time focusing on like all of like the base development shit, and you can focus on more of the actual missions and the combat and stuff like that. And so that's been, I think, more fun playing the game than having to focus on all the stupid like little I don't think it's not like microtransaction, that's not the word I'm looking for, but like just little like things like that you're not wanting to focus on, like the base building and like inventory management in a
Like
sense.
superfluous stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like I want to just play a fucking Metal Gear game. So, but yeah, that's what I've been playing. So what do you say we get into the news? Wah, 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 wah. That was terrible. Sorry.
Edit horns in there.
There we go. Perfect. We need Matt to get on the soundboard here. So speaking of Metal Gear, as I said, we're gonna get into the news a little bit. Konami is reportedly outsourcing Silent Hill, Castlevania, and Metal Gear Solid projects to other developers. There's been a lot of rumors in the last few years about Konami remastering or remaking its old classics. Silent Hill and Metal Gear Solid have particularly both been mentioned several times already, as we mentioned. And it appears that all of the rumors now adding Castlevania as well were true to some degree. According to a report by VGC, this was like a couple of weeks ago, anonymous sources have confirmed that Konami has indeed been trying to work on Silent Hill, Castlevania, and Metal Gear projects, but not internally. As AJ said, they've kind of been like slumped down to like this one house, where they can't really do anything. I think like what was it, a month or so ago, they shut down one of their like major, one of their like development studios.
I think that was either a month or two ago. Yeah.
Yeah. And so the Japanese publisher has been trying to reach out, hand the project over to external developers. So apparently 2 Silent Hill projects are in the pipeline, one of them being a long rumored Silent Hill remake. Bloober Team, the developer of The Medium, is believed to be helming one of those 2 projects over a year now, and will be reportedly be announced this summer as a departure from past Silent Hill games in the franchise. Konami has also said that approached Supermassive Games at one point, the developer of Dark Horse Pictures Anthology, to reboot original Silent Hill, but which yielded no response.
Because nobody wants a reboot.
Yeah, nobody wants a reboot. Just like continue making Silent Hill games and continue the story.
Right? It's like, okay, no, we're going to reboot the whole entire franchise. We're going to start with game 1. No! We've been asking for fucking another Silent game for 10 years.
Just continue it on.
I wouldn't mind a soft reboot where it's the same story.
Right, like a retelling.
Yeah, like a retelling. They add to it because you got better technology and everything to tell the story and stuff.
Hey, they did it with Ratchet and Clank. They can do it with Silent Hill. I'm just kidding. Sorry. Sorry, I had to.
It stings.
I'm sorry, AJ.
I mean, so if they do it, so my favorite one is Silent Hill 2. Mm-hmm. And I played the absolute hell out of that one. That creeped me the F out. But my opinion, the first 2 have the most interesting stories, right? I think the other ones are just like, creepy AF. I think Homecoming was okay.
Yeah, it was kind of mixed, I think.
Yeah, it kind of lost its creepy factor to me. I definitely appreciated the second one a lot more, because I played a few minutes of the first one, and then just going from that to the second one was a huge step back in the day. And I remember playing that in the dark and just like pooping my pants. It was terrible. It smelled. I had to do my laundry that night. It was terrible. But I
think that's also like the Resident Evil games too. Like they kind of went off course too from what they used to. Sure. Like they don't make horror games like they used to anymore.
No, not at all.
There's no money in playing horror games. You need to have like the action to get the people.
Right.
Nowadays, yes.
Yeah.
I'm not saying.
And I blame RE4 for that.
Yeah. I'm sorry, AJ. Go continue though.
Oh no, not at all. I mean, to Chad's point, but I'm also not dunking on RE4. I really like RE4. I think that it's actually a good mix of both of the worlds. Just kind of like took a train, like a dive right afterwards. But
5, 6 were terrible.
I tried playing 5 with my cousin. It was like, all right, so you just like, I'm not playing an RE game. It's a first person shooter, and I'm just freaking blasting zombies. It doesn't matter. It's not scary at all. Then you got the freaking, what was it, the voodoo guy trying to attack me? It was stupid.
Oh my God.
Anyway.
Yeah.
But I think maybe if they did a soft reboot, maybe starting from 2, right? If they did a soft reboot, maybe from that, because then that, in my opinion, that was the better of the 2 stories from 1 and 2. If they did a soft reboot, maybe from that, maybe tell another side of the story, maybe go into detailed explanation with his wife, maybe show more of the relationship beforehand, before shit went to hell. Maybe that might be something to look into, I think. But, and this is going to be a controversial opinion, if you do like what they did with Ghostbusters 2016, right, where you have people, right? So when I say that I don't want to watch, I've never seen Ghostbusters 2016, and I refuse to watch it because everyone literally tells me I'm a sexist. It's like, no, you're not listening to why I don't want to watch it. So for me, I'm 34 years old, love Ghostbusters 1, love Ghostbusters 2, been waiting for decades for the third Ghostbusters for continuation. never got it. Then all of a sudden they're like, "Yay, we're rebooting the franchise with all the characters you don't know and you don't love." And then all of a sudden they're all women, and the characters that you do know, they aren't themselves, and then they have references to the first two movies. Do you
Yeah.
want to see it? No, that's not what I've been asking for 20 plus years. I've been asking for
Yeah.
a sequel. Why are you rebooting my franchise? I never asked for this.
I totally agree.
That's why I'm
Yeah.
excited about Rebirth or whatever it's called.
Dude, same. I cannot wait for that. That's it. See,
It
if
was-
if they
had
did
it by
this
now,
one
too.
thing, it should have been. It should have been out last summer. But so
Yeah.
so you guys might agree with me. If they did this one simple thing, I would have been on board. Had the girls in the girls play the parts that they did. Have it the third one. Have it as that all the guys are their dads, right?
Right.
They're
Yeah.
passing the torches down to
Yeah.
their daughters. They
Like
are
they're
now
doing
the
with
new
the new
Ghostbusters.
one.
See, they didn't even need to
Exactly.
do that. They could have just included the fucking what happened in the first two movies be canon.
Right.
Have them like stumble upon the stuff or talk to one of the guys.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They're so
I
old now
totally
they
agree.
can't do
Okay.
anything.
Oh.
Now the girls need to step up. I would have been fine with that as well. Not as
Yeah.
happy about passing the torches down because again, I'm looking for a sequel, not anybody to replace my favorite characters. But I agree with you. I think that if they would have done something like that, that would have been better. But not to keep a controversial opinion going. But
No, you're
so
fine.
to kind of put it on that one, I think that it might have a blowback like that, right? So nobody's asking for a reboot of Silent Hill. They want another Silent Hill game. They don't want a reboot. They want another continuation to the story. What can you do next? We've already had
Yeah.
1 and 2. Let's
Even
have
if
something.
even if they were to do like a remake, like the RE2
Mhm.
remake of like Silent Hill 1 and 2 or something like that, I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, I would agree because that would at least be content out there and it's remastered,
Right.
you have better graphics or whatever else, little additions that you didn't have. I would agree because the fan base would at least be satiated, and then there's hope of another one coming out soon,
Right.
not where it's dead in the water and then Konami's like,
Exactly.
listen, we understand you want Silent Hill, but we
Yeah.
have pachinko machines.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So they
Yeah,
make
I think that's a big problem.
they probably
there.
make way more money off that crap than they do their video games.
They do. That's why they've been sticking to it for so long. It's
Yeah.
stupid.
No, but have
Well-
you guys ever seen the Evil Dead movies?
Hell
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
So you know how like the first one was the first movie, but the second one was kind of a remake sequel?
Yeah.
Right.
They should remake the first game and then kind of try to do a thing like what they did with that, like make not even just like remake the whole first two games, just kind of like get the story in the first game, then add something new at the end of it to make it its own game. You know what I mean? Do you think
That's a
that
good
could work, or you think they should just totally just like move forward?
Me, I would think it's still in the realm of like what Keith was saying, right? So maybe if you do, because then you can have the best of both worlds, right? So then you have a remaster and then do exactly what you were saying, expand or tweak the story, right? So then again, at least it's something that they don't really need to do too much. They don't have to put too many brain cells, working on that one. They just
Mhm.
have one creative guy make a halfway decent story that can be added onto it for canon, or they can even do something that's even better, right? So you take the first one, the first game and the second game, and they can kind of combine the two into one or whatever. You can have
Yeah.
the choice between the two characters and which storyline you want to go down. Again, that's at least something that it's
Right.
a remaster. It's a continuation for the most part, not really, but expounding onto the current story that we know, but a different way of doing it. So I think maybe that might be more interesting, a mixture between the two. But
See, sorry, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say what you're getting from what we had from PT, then just kind of like completely nothingness. I think at this point, maybe I retract my previous statement. Maybe at this point, anything is better than nothing.
Do you think that Silent Hill should just be that one story, or do you think the weirdness of Silent Hill can fit into like being a franchise with different stories going on, or do you think like the thing that made it popular is the charm of the first two stories?
I would say that it's a mixture of my opinion. I would say that it's a mixture between the both, right? Because it's not it's not a set one character that you're following, right? It's the place. So you can literally have Chad go into Silent Hill. He has his own adventure. Then you have AJ go in there for a completely different reason. I have my own adventure. You have this, army guy Keith just go in there. He just came back from war and he's all buff and everything and awesome with his mustache. And then he goes into Silent Hill and he and he has a completely. So I would say it's a combination between the characters, the storyline, but the fact that you can literally make any wacky ass storyline with whoever you toss in there, because it's not the characters you're necessarily following, but rather the fact that they're going to Silent Hill. What is going to happen?
Interesting. Yeah, that's very interesting. I also to end the article on that about Silent Hill, it said that it was noted that Silent Hill composer Akira, I'm gonna probably butcher this, but Yamoka confirmed that his next project will be revealed sometime around summer, and will be what fans have been hoping to hear about. Yamoka composed the soundtracks for the first 3 mainline installments of the Silent Hill franchise, as well as various other latter entries. So here's hoping, man, like couple months, hopefully we'll hear something about this. I think that would be fucking awesome.
No doubt.
To kind of go back to the whole Metal Gear thing, there's also rumors about Metal Gear Solid, the first Metal Gear Solid from PlayStation 1 having a PS5 remake. That would be amazing. I mean, like the first game, it's not my favorite in all of the games in terms of like gameplay and all that stuff, because like I watched my brothers play the very first game and the second one. I didn't really come into it until like Metal Gear 3. And that one is like my favorite just because of like graphics wise and like combat and all that stuff. Like it holds up a lot better than like the original ones do. But I love the story of like the very first Metal Gear game. It is like, hands down still to this day, like one of the coolest like stories out of the Metal Gear franchise. So the Metal Gear series has kind of been in a dark place ever since Hideo Kojima and Konami split in 2015. And there's been some new rumors that like I guess it's just rumors of Taiwanese game ratings suggesting that Konami plans to bring the series back in a big way. They're looking at like a full remake of the PS1 classic, and it's reportedly in development for PlayStation 5, according to Red Gaming Tech. So, I mean, we can kind of like take it with a grain of salt, but several Metal Gear ports for the PC are also in the pipeline, according to this Taiwan Digital Game Rating Committee. Could these rumors be true? Possibly. Who knows? Everything we know is kind of speculation at this point. But if there is something in the works right now, we probably won't even see it for like a couple of years at least, So I mean, this would just be awesome, like to see like I think it was a couple of years ago there was some guy that was actually planning to remake Metal Gear Solid it was either like Unity or the Unreal Engine, and then of course we know what happened with that whole thing because Konami basically shut the whole thing down.
Because he did what they couldn't.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think, honestly, this is my honest opinion, is that I think Konami is scared. Like, because after Metal Gear 5 came out, like, they had to finish it up after Kojima left. And then they came out with Metal Gear Survive, which was like a post-apocalyptic zombie Metal Gear game. And it was just fucking weird. Like, what the fuck? And then the game fucking bombed. Like everybody was like, what the fuck is this? And then since then, there's been literally nothing. No Metal Gear games.
That's the thing. As much as I would like a remake of the first game and stuff, I just don't want them to touch Metal Gear anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I think if they outsource it to somebody, like if they were to give the project to like Blue Point Games, which like Blue Point has been like, they've been doing like remasters and remakes for like the last 10 years. They've done some excellent ones, like the Uncharted HD collection.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was done by Blue Point Games. They also did what was the Ico Shadow of the Colossus?
Mm.
They did the remake of that. I think they did a couple other ones too that like are escaping me right now, but like they're definitely they're up to par when it comes to like making really excellent remakes and remasters. So if they were to like get their hands on it, I'd be like, fuck yeah, for sure, man, go for it. But I can see what you're saying. Like if it's within the hands of Konami, I do not trust them to do it justice. Like
Yeah, they've had
so,
crazy falling from grace.
yeah.
That's like 10 years. It's just ridiculous.
Well, yeah, and I think, like there was a lot of bad blood between, them and Kojima, and like I mean, we obviously don't know exactly what happened behind closed doors, but whether it was one or the other entities or both entities' faults, but I mean, we can see from Konami's track record that it's like they haven't exactly made things easy for anybody.
Yeah, they're one of the more corporate video
Yeah.
game companies out there.
Exactly. Yeah.
They're
So
also just the punishments that they dole out to their people though is just absolutely absurd. So
mhm.
I heard that somebody left Konami and then said that they left Konami. One guy liked his post or something like that, and then this guy got in trouble because he like really bad trouble. Like he was like removed and like reallocated or something like that to something else because he liked his friend's message that he left Konami. So
Oh,
to
that's
me
weird.
that's if I'm hearing stories like that, if it were true, and I
Mhm.
can see it being true because like you hear a lot about like traditional like Japanese companies being like mega strict like that. I would
Yeah.
absolutely just kind of go and just kind of back up Kojima on that and probably say like I would lean not he wasn't the perfect angel, but he's more than
Right.
likely like he's probably a lot better than Konami.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
I feel
So,
like he had probably too many crazy ideas, and Konami's like, that's not going to make us money.
what?
You need to chill.
Kojima has crazy
They
ideas.
butted heads too much, and that was the final straw. Was Metal Gear Solid 5?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, personally I can agree with that because we have like Death Stranding, which I still haven't played yet, and I keep like watching the trailer and I'm like parts of it look interesting, and then there's also a lot of crying in the trailer for like 5 minutes and I'm like
It's
what
fun.
what is happening here?
It's a fun game. So I bought it last
Is
year
it?
when it had come out, and I was excited to play. So the HD on it is phenomenal. It's a
It
beautiful game.
looks beautiful, yeah.
It really is. It's just that I lose interest in it though because you're literally walking around in this beautiful scenery and like fuck, you just don't know where the hell you are, and then you have this black mucus attacking you. It's interesting. I really want to get back into playing it. I probably have to restart it, but parts where it does kind of like amp up are interesting,
Mhm.
but it fails to keep my interest. Like I would need to make sure that I literally laser focus to actually play the damn game and just beat it.
Yeah,
Is that one of those where you can
just
pick up?
how long does it take you to get a weapon in the game? Like 4 or 5 hours or
I
something?
still haven't gotten a weapon. That's
Oh
how
my
fucked
God.
up it is. And I played it for about a good 7 or 8 hours.
Wow.
I think I'm that close to actually getting a weapon. I'm also one of those idiots, which is why I like Breath of the Wild so much. I'll just go, ooh, piece of coconut. What is that?
So I wonder, like, I guess a good question is like, how is it in terms of like story? Like, is that was
Very
kind
good.
of a bit of the what's that?
Sorry, I kind of cut you off. I was just like really excited. It's very good.
Is it very good? Okay. And is it like, do you spend a lot of time in the open world where you're doing stuff and then it's like, and then you have a story moment and then it's a while before you have another story moment?
Yeah, Chad, you played?
I watched a lot about it, so I know like how you kind of if you wanted to watch like a let's play of like the whole story, you're probably gonna fast forward a lot.
So exactly
Yeah.
what Chad
That's
said.
the
So
main thing I got from it.
you
Yeah.
you do spend a lot of time in the open world, which is again that's why I kind of like it's not linear in the sense of all right, you have this objective over here, whatever. You're literally going from a mountain, and then your next objective is like freaking like like 700 freaking yards away or something like that, but you need to climb back down the mountain that you climbed up to get to this one thing. You have to climb down the fucking thing, then to
God.
cross the river, and then you need to figure out how you're going to cross the river to get to your next objective. And then they're like, all right, congratulations. Now you need to hoof it over here, which is 1,000 yards away. It's like,
And it's like the whole thing where you gotta like use the controls to like not fall over and drop all of your
yeah,
stuff.
that,
Have you gotten your vehicle yet either?
I got a vehicle and it made it, dude. It's like legit. Like when you get a vehicle, you're just like, oh my god,
Yeah.
yes, I can play the fucking game.
Well, and
I
I think
said
they
that-
recently just added the motorcycle from Cyberpunk in there, as well as like some other Cyberpunk stuff. I think too.
Oh, sorry, really got picked
Like,
up.
it was Johnny Silverhand's arm you can get.
That's cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Because I think they even said it takes like probably 4 or 5 hours just to get a car or something. And
Yeah.
Wow.
Which
Yeah.
they in the reviews, everybody's like, once you get that, the game moves a lot faster.
Yeah, I
I
think
can
I'm
imagine.
literally just like right there because I moved on to the next plot or the next phase rather. So I think that I'm probably like right there. And to your point, like I can only imagine because you can only freaking walk around fucking carrying because you're having the L and R triggers just like so you're carrying this and just like feel fucking dopey as shit.
Yeah. I could totally imagine that. Yeah. All right. Well, and I think that last part we kind of talked about that a little bit. We'd like to see the Metal Gear 5 game get the Snyder cut treatment. Hopefully, get some cut content back in there, but the likelihood of that is probably highly unlikely.
It'll never
So,
happen, Konami.
Yeah, it's never
Okay,
gonna happen.
do it for free and we'll do it.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Are you guys sick of games you've been looking forward to without any updates?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, we already had that with Konami, but with this other game, we have some updates. Dying Light 2 apparently is aiming for 2021 launch. There's still no release date because it was inevitably like pushed back. And there was like an indefinite hold on it for a minute there. Like kind of, I think it was just right before the pandemic hit. And so now like the devs put out like a dev video, which was actually pretty funny too, because like the devs are like cursing. They're like, are you looking for some fucking updates? And all like these Polish developers that are just like fucking cursing and shit. And they're like, well, we got some shit for you. Like, oh my God, it was fucking great. And they had a little bit of like a gameplay teaser, which was awesome. I don't know if did you guys play any like Dead Island or Dying Light at all?
A little bit. I definitely want to play it more. Chris is trying to get me to play it.
Dead Island was fun. Dying Light, the first one was like excellent, and it's got a lot of really cool like parkour sort of like gameplay mechanics in there. I loved. But yeah, it looks like Techland, who worked on both of those, it looks like they're ready to talk about the game very, very soon. Has released a new video with updates, which I just mentioned. It includes a new snippet of gameplay and reveals the studio is aiming to release the game this year. Word on the game's release has been kind of quiet since the indefinite delay. As for when the game might release this year, there's still no other specific time. But this is awesome to see that they're still working on it, that it's still alive. I think, with the pandemic obviously kind of made everything kind of difficult on everybody's plate with working remotely and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of like up in the air. So thank you, Techland, for coming back together and starting working on this game, because I want to see this game come out, and it looks freaking phenomenal. So yeah, I don't have much more to say about that, just that I'm excited. Speaking of promising games, well, we hope this one is promising. Alien Fireteam, there was a first hands-on with IGN first. I think it was like a couple weeks ago. Was that you were on that one, AJ, right? I think we were talking about the Aliens game. Oh, Chad. Wait. Oh,
it was one of the good-looking guys here.
Yes, it was that good-looking guy, Chadley Paquin, and it was when I had Ethan on the podcast.
Yeah.
Right.
Thanks for
me. I was like, I couldn't remember. I mean, I have so many people rotating through. It's hard to remember who's on what
To be
episode.
fair, I'm a regular on here, so like it's kind of just like were you
The go,
there?
yeah, the go-to. Yeah, I was like, it's probably AJ. But I watched like they had a new 5-minute gameplay trailer, or going through like one of the first missions or whatever, and it definitely looks better than I think the couple weeks ago when we watched that first little bit. It was like there was like a 25-minute gameplay thing, but it's like who knows how old that build was when they first showed that. But this was like a first hands-on, and they're basically saying it plays a lot like Left 4 Dead, but like in an aliens game, with like the xenomorphs and all that kind of stuff. And I think you can play up to 3 players, and if there's like one player that's not physical, it'll like replace them with like an NPC person to fill your squad. But it looks really cool, and they're saying like it kind of gets that tone, that same vibe that like a lot of the like Colonial Marines came out in 2013, and that game just like bombed, and it was just like totally. I mean, it was Randy Pitchford, so what do you expect? The guy shines a turd and thinks it's fucking gold, but
It's not.
no, man. Only Zelda Breath of the Wild can give you a shiny gold turd and expect you to be happy about
And
it.
people buy it and say thank you, so just remember.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. People are gladly to take that.
I think I said that. I can't remember if I said this last time, but I think the one studio that I'd want to make an Alien game is Naughty Dog.
True.
After
Yeah.
seeing what they did with The Last of Us and everything, they could probably. That's sick.
Dude, yeah, that would be really cool. Yeah, if they were to do something like in the light of oh my god. Are you seeing this shit?
Yeah.
Dude, my cats are like fucking on crack.
Catnip there, guy.
Too much goddamn catnip, they're fucking running around with their goddamn heads cut off. What the hell's going on here?
You gotta cut them off.
Yeah, you cut them off. No more crack cocaine, you cats.
Jesus, we
this
gotta
shit.
cut them off until tomorrow.
Yeah. Don't get any more till breakfast, all right?
This is terrible. You see a fucking cat go through their fucking withdrawals. Meow, 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 meow.
Swiping at you every second it gets.
Oh my god. But yeah, I think this actually does look like pretty cool compared to like what we've had in the last couple of years. It definitely, I think it's hard to say just watching a gameplay trail, like a game, them playing the game versus like actually getting hands-on with it. But it looks cool. Like they have a lot of the different like I guess class soldiers. Like you can get the different weapons and stuff, like the smart gun, the pulse rifle. There's I think like the shotgun, sniper rifle, and then there's like some like the flamethrower and all that kind of stuff. And it again, like it seems like a lot like Left 4 Dead. Like you have these objectives you got to meet, and you have to like seal the doors and kind of like make your way in between these objectives while being attacked by these hordes of like xenomorphs coming after you. And there's
So can you choose between being soldiers or aliens, or you have to be soldiers?
I think you have to be soldiers, but this one is actually like the previous Alien games that have come out have mostly been first person.
Yeah.
These are actually like over the shoulder third person. So like it looks like it has like sort of like a Gears of War kind of look to it as well, like within that space. Yeah, so I don't know, like it looks pretty cool, and I think this is actually supposed to be coming out in the summer, I want to say. Let me see here if there was a release date for it. Yeah, I don't think there's a solid release date. I think it just said summer. So if we find anything, we will certainly let you guys know. Well, are you guys looking for that sucker punch of a movie to leave you dead on arrival? What the fuck?
Yeah, apparently your cats are.
Yeah, apparently. Well, it looks like Ghost of Tsushima. There's a movie in the works. Sucker Punch Productions provides their first details on the Sony Pictures film being directed by Chad Stahelski, which if you guys are not familiar with this, what's that?
John Wick fame.
Yes,
Fellow
exactly.
Chad.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you guys played the Ghost of Tsushima game?
I have not, but it
Oh,
looks fun.
dude, AJ, I think you'd probably like it just in the fact that like I don't know, like part of it kind of reminds me of like Zelda a little bit.
Down. I'm done. All right,
Like
I'm down.
it's
Find it
it's
tomorrow.
it's obviously more realistic looking, but it nails that perfect like samurai feel to like a game, which I've like for years I've wanted like a fucking amazing
Yeah,
samurai.
I haven't played one since like probably Onimusha.
Onimusha was
Dude, yeah.
awesome. There
When
was
that came
also
Why don't they bring Onimusha back?
that'd be really
Does
cool.
Konami own Onimusha?
I think so.
I think they do. Yeah. The other one was on PlayStation 2 was Way of the Samurai, which was really cool.
Yeah, I want to
Uh,
play it. I heard that was really good.
yeah. I don't know how well they hold up now, but I used to play them back in the day, and like the first two were awesome. They had like a third and fourth one, which I never played. They were kind of weird, but the first two were really cool because it was like showing the end of like the era of the samurai. And
Yeah.
like the Japanese government kind of came in and like basically wiped them all out, like in the Last Samurai, with like all the the more mechanical weapons and stuff like that, like guns and whatnot. But yeah, it's a great game. I like probably one of my favorite photo modes in any game.
Yeah,
Ghost
it's
of Tsushima.
great looking pics people put out there.
Yeah, like the lighting and stuff like that, like taking pictures at night, and they had like a really cool. My favorite one was like this black and white photo filter, but it highlighted everything that was red.
It's cool.
I love that.
So
Got
yeah,
the Frank
like
Miller effect.
yeah, and so you'd be in like the midst of battle with like somebody, and like you'd have like the sword going through the guy, and there's like the blood spurting in air, and like so everything's black and white, but you see the blood, and you see like your armor is like drenched in blood. Like, dude, it was so fucking cool. And I had like my character had the cool like disc kind of hat, like Raiden.
Oh,
Or
nice.
like was it Raiden from
Raiden.
Raiden from Mortal Kombat.
I just know
like-
it's Ryu, and don't ever say Ryu or someone's gonna kill you.
Yeah.
I
Right.
try
Yeah.
you all the time. I don't give a shit.
Well, you know what? Someone's gonna kill you, okay? And if that
Right.
happens, just don't freaking come
Yeah. Don't
yelling
freak
at
out about it because we
It'll
want
be it'll be a sweet relief, you know?
me.
Yeah. Then I'll have to go to that damn Amazon job.
Oh, you're the one who's sent to kill me. All right, just right here, dude.
Yeah, just right here. Come on. But yeah, it was just like really cool shit like that. Yeah, it was awesome. Like, and you just see like you just see like the bottom half of his like mask. Like they have like the cool samurai mask that he wears in
Yeah.
the game, and you see it just below like the brim of it. Like getting some really cool shots with the photo mode during that. But yeah, so Chad Stahelski is working on this movie. The idea of translating the game into a new medium is pretty exciting. I think it's an intriguing possibility. We've all been brought to tears in a movie theater surrounded by strangers. Thanks a lot. Well, I don't know what the fuck that's going on about. We've all gone to a movie on an opening night when the crowd is so excited that they cheer and lights go down. It's a group experience that isn't replicated anywhere else. So to think that we can sit in the theater someday and watching Jin Sakai upon the big screen is amazing. And I think like that's really cool. Like that's a really cool point too, is because damn it, I can't remember the name of the what's the old like samurai movies that like the Ghost of Tsushima was kind of based on.
Seven Samurai?
No, it was like a famous director. He did like a lot of black and white samurai movies, which like they tried to model the game after. Dude, that fucking hurt. How dare you flick that at me? Yeah, I can't even think of it. I'm probably gonna get a lot of flack for that, but whatever.
Way to go.
Let us know in the comments.
Yes, let us know in the comments what it is. And so yeah, I think like they tried to capture a lot of that within the game. Like you can play it all in black and white. You can play it with the Japanese like subtitles and everything if you wanted, or you can play it in English dub or whatever, Like I think it's really cool that they had a lot of that stuff. So to see it like to make this game into like a movie that's based on the old samurai movies, like that'd be fucking cool.
I think that's why it would probably make the most sense to have something like that go from video games. And I don't think Chad's just like flicking shit all over the place. I
Dude,
think that
I went in my
that's
fucking beer.
ew, gross. It was up his nose and everything
It was like
too.
perfect shot.
That was pretty good actually. Who used to do that? Not Rosie O'Donnell. It was no, actually I think there was Rosie O'Donnell. Yeah, she would just like
Yeah.
flick
She always
those
had the
freaking things.
fucking the rubber band. Hey guys.
Yeah.
You're like, what the
Don't compare me to fucking.
I'm sorry. I'm not saying that you like. Alright, I'm gonna drop that. So
AJ, you better sleep with one eye
I'm
open
just
because
gonna
he's
fucking,
coming
like,
for you,
dig
man.
myself.
Comfy, you son of a
Right.
bitch.
I'm gonna kill you wicked hard, son of a bitch. I know it's Chad.
Say hello to my little friend.
But if you think about it, that kind of game itself would be something that sounds like it would be going from a movie to a video game because it would definitely coincide with one another. I think that so there's something to say that you go taking a Super Mario game and trying to make that a movie, right? We already know how bad
Right.
that did. Or
Yeah.
taking a Legend of Zelda movie. That's probably doable. It's going to be a little more difficult when you have a silent protagonist, but I think it's doable, right?
Yeah.
Still difficult, right? You're not going to appease everybody. Like there was such a big divide for Breath of the Wild for the longest time until people actually played it, right? So something like this, where it is like more of an a samurai oriented kind of thing, where it does feel more cinematic. I think to your point, would absolutely have no problem switching to a movie and everyone being like, "Yay!"
Yeah, and I mean we've seen like the cinematics from like imagine like John Wick. Like the cinematics and like the choreography that they did for John Wick. Imagine that within like a samurai movie.
That'd be dope.
That would be super cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
like getting those like close-up shots with him like, stabbing somebody and then doing all these like wicked cool ass moves, with a samurai sword, like that'd be fucking awesome. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. And I think that's the last bit of news there. Okay, thanks, Chad. Appreciate it. I think we're almost done anyway, so we're just gonna go into the don't you give me a frowny face, Chad.
There's a
Message
reason
me on
he's
the sly,
typing,
all right?
silly.
Yeah. Quit sending me sexy messages on the sly. We'll talk about it after the show, I said.
On it.
Thing was so veiny.
Yeah, exactly. So we're just gonna mention the new and upcoming releases. Real quick, I did want to mention because I did have this pulled up. Today, there was the ID at Xbox games thing. Yeah, right. You like that? No ID at Xbox games. I can't talk. It was. Shut up, Jack. God damn it. So there was over 20 games at it was the ID at Xbox, which is like their indie studio sort of thing where they kind of like gathered all of these indie devs to launch all of these games. And I think this is like starting to really pay off. Like what was that, 2 or 3 years ago at E3 they kind of like announced this whole project, and last year and the year before they were kind of like acquiring a bunch of these studios.
Oh, that was 2 years ago. Yeah, where they had
Yep.
the little indies and whatever else. Yeah.
Yeah, so today they had their ID at Xbox where they were talking about a bunch of games that are coming out. So there's a bunch of indie dev games and all that stuff. Some of these look pretty cool. I have to say though, like one of my favorites that was actually being talked about was Stalker 2. Stalker 2 was made by GSC Game World back in, I'm gonna say like 2004 or 2007. I could be wrong. But Stalker 2 has been kind of like in the works for the last 2 years. I think they announced it at E3, and they're kind of remaking it in, I think, the Unreal Engine, the new Unreal Engine. And they had like a dev diary and stuff talking about the game and just kind of showing off some of the assets and everything. I don't think there's any release date yet, but this is it's basically like a thriller / horror game set in the Chernobyl exclusion zone.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, so if you guys are like familiar with the Chernobyl incident that happened back in, I think it was like
86.
Yeah, it was 86. And it was just funny because like the Stalker games are based off of the book, which is called Roadside Picnic, and that was actually written in like 78 or 79. So like talking about like it was like an incident. They didn't really name it as like the reactor in Chernobyl, but they said there was like a weird incident possibly related to like aliens or something like that that created this exclusion zone where people couldn't enter because of the radiation and
Not
all of
saying
like
it's
the
aliens.
right.
It's aliens.
But it's aliens. Yeah. And it was interesting because like they wrote this like a couple like what was it like 7 or 8 years before the incident actually even happened, and then that happened, and there was actually an exclusion zone where you couldn't enter. Weird, but yeah, the game basically kind of takes what happened in the actual like Chernobyl exclusion zone, and like they kind of like take animals and they kind of mutate them because of the radiation, and they call it Stalker because you play as a stalker that goes in and collects these sort of artifacts from like anomalies and things like that. And anomalies are like these weird looking like they're like Ripley weird effects that you'll see, and if you walk into one, like it could do like one of many things, but like it could tear you apart into like shreds, or it can like launch you up into the air and like kill you, or just like make you bleed or whatever, and just yeah, it's also sorts of like weird things or whatever. But yeah, like so the stalkers collect these artifacts, bring them back out, bring them to scientists, and make money off of it. Like they make, you know. So it's really interesting. There's like a lot of other cool stuff within, you know, the realm of it, but it's like a post-apocalyptic sort of, you know, science-y thriller / horror game.
Is it on PlayStation?
So the new one, so the original games are not. No, they're only on PC. But the new one is coming to PC as well as all of the consoles, I believe. Like I think it's coming to PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series S/X. Yeah, so so check out the dev diary on that game if you guys are interested in it, just to see what it's all about. As well as like a bunch of these other indie games which look really cool, from the ID at Xbox. So, all right, yeah, let's move into the new and upcoming releases. We got a couple here. This one I'm really excited about. It's called Narita Boy. It's an interesting name, but it's like all encompassing of like a retro 80s style, like being stuck in a video game. Like Tron meets like Ready Player One. It's got other notes of like He-Man, The Last Starfighter, and it's like a 2D 3D kind of side scroller. So it plays kind of like Castlevania, Another World, Double Dragon with like kind of like a modern touch to it. Like aesthetically it looks super freaking cool. Like it's got like a lot of like retro synth sort of like music to it.
What's it called again?
Narita Boy.
Naria?
Narita.
Narita?
Yeah.
Think
And
of like
it's-
Naruto, only
Yeah. Narita boy. And so this is actually coming out on Nintendo Switch, PS4, Xbox One, and PC, and also Xbox Game Pass, so it'll be free for all you guys who are subscribed.
Name
It's
Xbox.
coming out March 29th. What's that?
Name Xbox people.
Oh wow. Yeah.
he's just
Just
jealous he doesn't have Game Pass on PlayStation.
Exactly. Quit being so jealous, bruh.
Do you taste the salt? I do.
I do. Yeah, so this game looks super cool. I'm really excited about that game. The next one is
So close.
Monster Hunter Rise. And I think this is out actually as of today, but I figured I'd mention anyway. That's going to be on Nintendo Switch, and I think it just kind of takes it's kind of going back to a little more of like the traditional formula of like a Monster Hunter game. It's not as like open world as like Monster Hunter Worlds was.
Such a fun game.
Yeah, so yeah, that game was awesome. So if you guys are like Monster Hunter, is more Monster Hunter to play. Next one is Disco Elysium, the final cut. This actually comes out on March 30th, and this is going to be on PS4, PS5, PC, and Switch. And I think what's cool about this one is like the game had already come out, but the final cut basically adds fully voice acted characters to the entire game. And what's really great about this is that there's already a ton of dialogue and reading that you have to do in the game. So this just makes it a lot easier for you to kind of sit there and like you don't have to kind of imagine the voices being acted out like you did back in the day with Final Fantasy VII. You can now just listen.
This is the game that you were telling me about like a couple of weeks ago that you were excited about, right?
Yeah. So it's kind of like a point click adventure, I think. Like I still haven't played it yet. I've been like holding out because I heard about this. And yeah, so you play as like a detective who kind of wakes up in a rundown like hotel with a headache and doesn't remember what happened to him. And so like there's not really a lot of I think there's very little combat in the game, but it's like all of this cool shit that happens to you in this game that just makes it really interesting. And it's like all inside this like unique kind of world that's sort of like in the future, but it has like sort of like a Renaissance-ish kind of look to it in a sense. And it's got this really cool like watercolor like aesthetic and art style to it.
That's cool.
Yeah, and like some of the art style kind of reminds me of like Dishonored, if you can imagine that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like it's sort of like kind of like that watercolorish kind of look to it. Yeah, so that's coming. We also have Drifters. This is it says Drifters loot the galaxy, delivers a manic drift pack fueled aerial and ground combat in the most exhilarating team-based shooter ever created. Well, when they say ever created, it's kind of like giving it too much credit. Ever created. So you can pick from a ragtag team of intergalactic raiders who engage in ruthless battles in the seediest depths of the universe. All drifters come armed with high-powered drift packs, grappling hooks, and an arsenal of sci-fi weaponry. Drifters is the ultimate way to explore the space, battle rival squads, and plunder for cosmic booty till it hurts. Well, now that you said that, I'm hooked already.
I mean, listen, who doesn't want to plunder for cosmic booty till it hurts?
Exactly. Yeah. You guys should check this out. Like the art style alone, I think looks really cool. I think it's like a third person shooter, like a team based kind of shooter. I'm trying to like think of something to relate it to, but I think it is free to play. So like, I mean, you can't really beat trying it out at least, right? So this comes out March 31st. It's on PS4 and Xbox One and PC. So Chad, you can play it too. All right, we're not excluding you on this one.
Finally.
Yeah, but you're only limited to how much booty you can collect on PS4. Sorry, we got to move on. Just kidding. And then the last one on the list here is Outriders, which is coming out on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S, and Game Pass for this is weird though. It's only coming on Game Pass for console, and Stadia. Like I don't understand.
Weird for Stadia. Stadia's dead.
Yeah,
I thought Stadia did die.
It's kind of like still in its throes of, I'm dead. I'm dying. I'm dead. I'm dying.
Yeah, what's that? What's
you know
that
what I hate
mean?
about Stadia the most? Didn't they announce like a new Earthworm Jim game on that and everything? Was that like another?
I don't know. Don't break my heart already. Like I miss Earthworm Jim. I wish they would come out with another one soon.
Yeah.
There was one in the works, I think, by Interplay like a couple years ago, and then I think it got canceled or something. I know. The games of the old days, man. I should miss them.
New fucking dumb Halos, but we just want Earthworm Jim.
Oh, Dude, them
That's
fighting
shots
words, man.
fired, my dude. And
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but Master Chief will just raffle stomp him. I'm sorry. That's why.
You get all these
Yeah.
Gears of Wars that nobody wants, but get Earthworm Jim.
Yeah,
all
man.
your Gears of Wars and your Halos and your hippity
Yeah.
hops.
You guys want to Super
Goddamn
Kitty
hula hoops
Gears
in
of
your
War?
MTVs. Get off my lawn.
You almost sound like Master Roshi there.
Thank you. I mean, that's not what I was going for, but I appreciate that. So this Outriders game looks pretty cool. I think it's like, is it team? I don't know. Do you guys know much about this?
Nope.
I watched one of my buddies was streaming it. It was like the open beta, I guess. And it looks pretty cool. Like the gameplay looks pretty interesting. Like you play as these soldiers that have sort of like powers. And you can kind of like freeze enemies, and then you can like shoot them and break. Like they'll freeze into ice, and then you can shoot them and break them. Like there's some cool stuff like that. But it's like a cooperative. It says it's an upcoming cooperative role-playing third-person video game. It's developed by People Can Fly and published by Square Enix, their European subsidiary. So yeah, check it out. I don't think that it's free to play unless you have Game Pass, and you get it basically for free for console only. I thought that was still stupid that they didn't do it for PC as well. And I think when it comes out, it's coming out April 1st. I think it's also going to be crossplay between all of the consoles.
That'd be
So
cool.
that's probably a good reason, to jump in. Like you can play with anybody on any console. So yeah, it looks interesting. Also, the last game we have is We Love Chad. It's probably the most anticipated game I've been looking forward to.
I
And if
heard
it
it's so
doesn't
hot
come
this
out
year.
this, if it's not coming out this year,
It's delayed indefinitely.
oh my god.
Yes, because we have Sad Chad coming in for 2021.
Sad Chad for the
Just want
win.
the world to change, man.
Yeah, man, I feel ya. So maybe next year. We love you, Chad.
We love you, Chad. 2022.
2022. Yeah, we'll put out. I'm gonna put posters out on my front lawn that says, "We love Chad. Please release in 2022." All right, so we'll move into the Pixel to Pixel. Basically, again, New Game Plus Network, which is our umbrella company that we all work under. We're just reaching out to find streamers, YouTubers, podcasters, prop game creators, artists, anybody that's doing something within the gaming space. We're looking to help people get recognized, connect them with others, help them get started, interview people who are in this industry that can help people who are interested, maybe getting some insight on how to get their channel started. We know how difficult it can be, especially when you don't know like what direction you want to take your passion project or whatever, but that's what we're here for. And I mean, we're not professionals either, but we can hook you up with people that do know what they're talking about, get you the answers that you're looking for. We can get you into our Discord for New Game Plus Network, where you can, even if you just want to come and hang out and chat with us and just like have a good old time talking about butt memes, like I don't know why that's there, but it's
Chris.
there for a reason. Yeah, it's damn crispy.
It does make me smile now.
It does make me smile from time to time. But yeah, I mean, you can come there if you're looking to start a podcast and you don't have anybody to do it with. Like, you can collaborate with somebody in the Discord. Like, me and Chad, like, we do podcasts. I would totally, like, if somebody's looking to start a podcast, I would totally be willing to come on and help run it with you. If you're like nervous about doing it, or you don't know, like, what kind of format you want to go with, like, I'll talk to me. I've listened to a lot of like gaming podcasts where I think I know the difference of like different sort of formats of like, Chad does sort of like an open floor format where he chooses, like, he might choose like certain news, but he does like sort of open general questions of like, to kind of get people's brains moving and thinking about different things. And whereas like I'm a little more structured and I like to pull news like from the internet and be like, what do you guys think about this? So we do different things, but it doesn't mean that one way is right and one way is wrong. Like, there's many ways to do it. So, it's just, how do you want to do it, right? Just adapt it to all of, your style. So, and it's not going to be perfect from, the get-go. So just don't wait to have everything in line. Just start it now.
Just do it.
Right now. Like literally while we're recording and watching this video.
Get off your ass
Go.
and do it.
Yeah, do it.
Why don't you do a react?
Do it. Do it. What?
Somebody do I'm going to react to Digital Denizens.
Yes. Ooh. Yeah. Somebody do a react video to me.
React to Just Your Average Podcast. They said, what?
Wait,
Then the thumbnail will be the little arrow pointing at me going like this.
Oh my god. Or
thumbnails are the worst thing about YouTube, man.
I know. We'll just use that video that I pulled from the internet of you, Chad, with the I love that picture.
I cut down the Christmas tree. I was souped.
Was that what that was? Okay,
Yeah.
now I know the backstory. This is funny as shit. Like, that was just funny. I pulled that thumbnail from the internet. I was just like, Chad. At the time, I was like, Chad Paquin, because I was like, I didn't know it was Paquin. So I was like, Chad Paquin. And that was the first image that came up, and I was like, yep, taking that one. That's going to be our thumbnail for him. So anyway, yeah, I just wanted to, if you guys want to hit us up, you can find me at Facebook at Digital Denizens or Instagram at digital_denizens. And I want to make some mentions. Chad and both AJ are in these mentions, so we'll be able to put their plugs in here. So that way you guys know where to find them. So we'll start off with Chad. He runs the Just Your Average channel and Fanboy and the Snob with Chris and Chris B. And they run a podcast that basically covers, well, go ahead, Chad. I'll let you explain what your channel does. You have a mouth.
Just Your Average channel, the podcast.
Too.
What?
What? Sorry, what? I'm sorry. Did somebody say you had a purdy mouth? That's just messed up.
That's what AJ's there for.
How you doing?
How you doing?
No, the podcast, we basically talk about anything we want to that we find interesting that week, month, video games, movies, news, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun. You should listen.
Yeah. And then you also have the other sort of things that you're doing too, like the Great Nerd Debate, which we've
these two have been lucky enough to be on the Great Nerd Debate.
Oh, lucky.
Honored.
One of them became the victor.
That's the wording you want to use? All right. That's fine.
No, it's basically a show where we do a bunch of debates about nerdy things. It's pretty fun. We're getting
really
it
cool.
started, so stay tuned.
We get some
for that.
pretty heated discussions, but it's all,
Just wait till me and Chris debate each other. It's gonna be ugly.
Oh my God, I can't wait for that.
Then I have Fanboy and the Snob, where we talk about movies and comics and stuff.
Nice. That's awesome. So where can everybody find your channels and all that stuff, and where can they contact you if they're looking to?
JYA channel on Instagram and Fanboy and the Snob on Instagram.
Okay.
Our YouTube channel is www.youtube.com/JustYourAverageChannel for that one.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know the Fanboy and the Snob because we're not big enough to have our own ending to our YouTube yet.
Oh, okay.
You need like 50 subs or something like that.
Well,
or
and I
100
think
subs.
also on your Just Your Average channel, Instagram, you also have the link tree in your bio, which
Yeah, so you can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Anchor,
Yep.
all that stuff.
yeah. So all right, cool.
Excuse not to listen.
Yes, exactly. We also got AJ here with us. And AJ, you want to explain what you do and where everybody can find you at?
I do a little bit of everything because I am a
Mhm.
masochist. So I have an online store that I sell gaming items. Namely, one of my favorite things are the tiny arcades that people really like. I have old school retro games ranging from Super Nintendo, Genesis, Nintendo. I have PlayStation 2, 3, Xbox 360, a lot of games. I also do YouTube videos. I do little short histories on the tiny arcades that I do sell because I find it interesting about the back history of these arcades. And so I have a few episodes that I need to do more. I do Let's Plays on my YouTube as well. Currently doing a game called Blue Fire, which actually, believe it or not, does have a really interesting and engaging story plot.
Mhm.
I also am on Twitch, where that would be twitch.tv/A4GZ, where I'm currently streaming Stardew Valley because I wanted to pick a nice, easy game that I knew nothing about and wanted to try to give it a shot. And it's me and the people who stream, yourself included, just like,
Mhm.
turn this game on its ears, which is fantastic. So I think it made it more fun by interacting with everybody that I stream
yeah.
with and who watch.
Exactly.
So we made our own subplots and everything. Hashtag down with Abigail and hashtag get the purple panties. If you don't know what that means,
Whacking in the bush.
that too.
No, that was
it's
Rogue.
cool.
That was Rogue Heroes, but still also relevant. We also have hashtags. Hoes have feelings.
Yes, exactly. That is the main one that will continue forever. Whatever else I stream, hashtag host have feelings
Yeah.
is the main one. Oh, and also live in La Vida Gamer.
Yes.
So I'm freaking not. I need to switch to decaf sometimes. Then
The caffeine keeps the hilarity going.
it does. I
Yeah.
crash at like 2 done, completely done. I have allforgamers.com where I try to put up, unfortunately I failed again this week because I'm all over the place, but I have allforgamers.com that started everything here, where it is now kind of like my personal blog where I put together a few things that I find interesting throughout the week. Actually, I'm going to put something together tomorrow. See?
Nice.
Decaf. So yeah, allforgamers.com. I put stuff on my Instagram, allforgamers, and Twitch sucks, but I'm on there too. Allforgamers1, I guess, whatever. Follow me on Twitter. I don't go on there.
Oh, you mean
And then
yeah.
All for Gamers on Facebook.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool. Yeah, go check out all of his stuff. Yeah, awesome stuff. We also have Devoted Saint Retro, that is Matthew. I don't know if he prefers Matthew, but I'm going to call him Matthew. What the?
Your cats are destroying your house.
What is happening? My goodness. I think another mountain fell into my house. It's fine. I mean, the damage is done, so we continue on with the podcast. We'll deal with it after, I guess. Listen. Matthew Philandro, he's an awesome individual as well. He creates gaming art with woodworking and CNC machine. He makes like game controller stands with like LEDs. He makes like the game cart stands for like the old NES, SNES, N64, you name it. I think Chad has a couple there. Actually right on his computer if you're watching the video version. Watch his hand modeling skills. It's phenomenal.
Is that cool stuff?
Yeah, it's so cool, and they're made really well and everything. So it's definitely good quality. He also makes like game cart stand or not game cart stands, like signs for like PlayStation logo, Xbox logo, Nintendo Switch logo. And he also does like commission stuff. So if you're looking for something custom, definitely hit him up and ask him. I'm sure he'll probably be able to make it. And he recently also just started streaming on Twitch with Rogue Heroes, which was last week. That was freaking hilarious. And then last night, him and AJ were streaming Rocket League, which was surprisingly hilarious. I don't know what the fucking score was, but
we were just wrecking everything, and I was in rare form, so I was hyped up beyond everything and cussing up a storm, which I don't do on my own stream, so I can cut loose on his and not care.
Yeah. No, that was freaking awesome. Yeah, that was great. You can find him on Instagram at Devoted Saint Retro, and his shop link is in the bio. But you can also find his shop on devotedsaintretro.com, and his Twitch channel is twitch.tv/devotedsaintretro. We also have Leslie Morales, the voice of reason of the group, and she is also known as Sector 7 Item Shop. She creates gaming related merch as well and art. You can find her shop over in the Sector 7 slums around the corner. hang a left and just a dash up the stairs. Also on Instagram at Sector 7 Item Shop, and the link tree is in the bio, and you can find all of her stuff there. She does some excellent stuff. I've showed on the podcast, if you watch the video version, my cyberpunk tray that she made. It's like, what do they call those? The what are they? They're like not
Coin
dipped or
tray or something.
Dice trays.
dice tray. No, I mean you could use them as dice trays, I
Key
suppose.
tray.
But she like dips them in like paint, so they're like super glossy on the inside.
Oh, like the epoxy stuff.
I don't know.
Yeah. It's like the epoxy trays or whatever. So she does like a bunch for like bunch of different games and everything. But she does like shirts, she does like masks. You can get the have like the bath stuff from the Lawn Line Milk Shop line of like bath powder you can like throw into the bath to make it smell really beautiful. Dude, honestly though, like Haley got it in the mail today, and there was like 3 different flavors that she got. Like one was like banana, there was like an apple one. Oh my god, dude, they smell so good. I literally wanted to eat the powder.
Probably a bad idea. Don't do that.
Yeah,
You'll
she had to
become the
like
man
hold
from
me
Florida.
back. She's like, "No, get back! You can't eat these, you foul beast!" And I was just like, "I want to. Let me eat them. I want them." Yeah, no, they smelled amazing. So, yeah, please go check out her shop and all of her stuff. Please support her. The next one we got is Josiah DeAndrea, also known as Vile Shrew. He's a Twitch streamer and YouTube content creator. He's been on the show before. And you can find him over at twitch.tv/vileshrew and youtube.com/vileshrew. So I think a lot of the games he plays is like Valorant. I think he does like CSGO, Fall Guys. It kind of varies from day to day. Like he doesn't always stick to the same thing. But then he also does like bar streams where he'll like make drinks and show how he makes them, as well as like making like reaction videos of like his wife drinking whiskey, which is not her favorite whiskey, or not her favorite alcohol, I should say. So her
His
least
wife's
favorite.
funny.
Yeah, he's got a great personality, very funny dude, man. Please support him and check him out at least. Also another funny Twitch streamer we got is Mr. Andre Vanger, also known as Fingers421. You can find him on Instagram at Fingers421 and twitch.tv/Fingers421. I think he took a little bit of a break there, just due to like some family stuff, family emergency. So please show him some love and please go check him out. He is an awesome individual and an even funnier Twitch streamer.
It's my boy.
Yeah, he's a great dude. So please go check him out. I think he plays a lot of Valorant. Any other games that you can think of that he plays? I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I think it's mostly Valorant.
It definitely is mostly Valorant. I know that he streamed something. I don't know what it was, but it wasn't when I checked in, so I forgot.
It's Pat.
Did.
And then the last one I want to mention, just because I want to help kind of shout him out, and he gave me a free key to his game. It was Kyle Berger. He is the developer of Pixelot. It is a old school looking pixel art, turn-based sort of Final Fantasy-esque kind of game. Really cool art style. Like it's very simple, but it's got a lot of complexity underneath the hood that I think you'll find that's like really cool. And I think it's coming out on Android, iOS, and Steam on March 31st, I believe. I could be wrong. It might be March 30th. But yeah, please show him some love and go check out his game. You can also find him on Instagram at iceburger3 and also pixelotgame.wordpress.com. Thank you again, Kyle, for lending me the keys to your life in my hands. I appreciate it. It was
So
awesome.
cryptic.
Yeah, very cryptic, right? Um, And yeah, so I think the last bit is our retribution corrections. If you guys want to write in, we're counting on you guys to help us build this podcast into something really great and worth your listen. So if we happen to get anything wrong, which we can do because we are human, we may
hell you say.
mischaracterize things from time to time. And this is your opportunity to help support us so we can set the record straight in future episodes. So we're counting on you guys to hold our feet to the fire. Just don't burn us too badly. If you're watching the video version, we'll put the links down below so you guys can write in. So yeah, thank you guys. Thank you, AJ. Thank you, Chadley Paquin, for now I have to say it every time because thank you guys for coming on to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's
Thanks
been
for
a
having us
blast as
on, bud.
usual. Yeah, thank you, Chad. Well, that is all the time that we have for today's podcast. We hope that you guys enjoyed what you heard, and we truly appreciate you all tuning in for another episode of Digital Denizens. We love that you guys listen, that you guys write in, and as I always say, hit that like and subscribe button, and keep your ear to the ground for more to come. Thank you, guys. Peace! Hey guys, we need to get out of here. I need a chopper. Snake!
I gotta go to bed. I gotta wake up in 5 hours.
Yeah.
Man. All right, go to bed, Age. Go to.
You are listening to Digital Denizens.